Good morning, y'all. Good morning, and welcome to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. Happy New Year's Eve, y'all. Happy New Year's Eve. You can see over my shoulder, all the cards are down. Wow, except for Rosalind's picture, Samantha's Stink Stink Stunk, because I love it. The eye from Kathy. I love those embellishments from Soleil, so they're still one of my best inspirations, so I'm not taking those down. And Leticia's amazing story never comes down. It has traveled with me to Morocco, it has traveled with me to the Holy Land, to New York, and now here. That always stays up. And over my left shoulder is one of the first things Cruz sent me in the Holy Land, and I still love it. I still love it, Cruz. It's also traveled to Morocco, the Holy Land, New York, and now here. I also have a piece up that you can't see from Alicia Love Letter Generation. And I have in the other room Lily's amazing suitcase. So these are the things that stay up permanently, that no matter what, stay up. So I'm in a period of transition. I'm not as fast as Life with Patty. She got everything done, y'all. It's already in her storage bin. You know what? I tried yesterday really hard. But yesterday was a wackadoodle day, y'all. It was a wackadoodle day. I went to my doctor's appointment, and I found out I'm being vaccinated today. So the appointment yesterday really became all about explaining to me what the risks are for me being vaccinated. I'll tell you what's interesting about this. I was told originally I could not be vaccinated because people with scleroderma and mixed connective tissue disease who are on immunosuppressants are not supposed to take any live vaccines. And because this technology is new, the MMNRA, and it causes you to have an increased autoimmune response. The developer said, if you have autoimmune disease, wait, don't take it. And the reason they say that is, I already have a heightened immune system. That's why I take chemo, right? Is to suppress it. So the idea of giving someone who already has this problem, right, and we know how sick I can get, the vaccine, which will make my autoimmune go crazy, is risky. And so they didn't include anyone in the original study with autoimmune disease because of that. Didn't matter what kind you had, whether you had RA or what I have, or it didn't matter. So I will tell you that about a month ago, the University of Miami asked me to participate in a study. And I thought very long and hard about it because they desperately needed people with autoimmune disease to voluntarily take the vaccine. And I was, look, someone's got to be the guinea pig, y'all, right? Someone's got to be the guinea pig. My family always says, why does it have to be you? But how are you supposed to help people? How are we all supposed to stay safe if everyone says no? So I really thought about it. And the only reason I didn't participate is that my husband had one concern. And that is that they would give me a placebo because they give 50% of the group a non-vaccine, a fake vaccine. And he wanted a guarantee that I would not be given a fake vaccine if I did this. And the reason for that is people subconsciously become more confident once they're vaccinated. And he was scared I would drop my guard and I would get COVID and not have the vaccine. So he said, look, I'll agree to it. I agree with what you're saying morally. We have a citizenship obligation to help the community. But I want to guarantee that my wife will be given the vaccine. And they said, look, it's a blind study. We can't guarantee that. So my husband said, then no. Because it will preclude me from being able to be vaccinated, y'all, right? And I won't know for 3 months. So I'll be walking around for 3 months hoping I was vaccinated, but maybe not be vaccinated. And you can't get the vaccine in the interim until after the study's concluded. So my husband said, no, I'm sorry. So they decided in the end, because I didn't participate, that I'm on what you call an urgent list because of all the medicines I take. And because I was a good candidate for the study, I'm one of the first to get vaccinated. And that way they can study me to see how I respond. So I'm a little bit of a guinea pig, y'all. You're gonna ask me next, are you scared? Of course I am. Of course I am. It would be untruthful, and y'all know I tell it to you the way it is here. I'm absolutely terrified. However, what I said was true. I told you all this. I don't understand why it's so hard for Canadians to get citizenship here. I have always felt very American. And I get teary thinking about it because it makes my mom crazy, but I've felt American since I was like a kid. So I'm proud to be here, and we're in a crisis, y'all. And we need to get this information out. And there are people way sicker than me with autoimmune disease who desperately need to know if they can take this vaccine. And the only way that we're going to be able to figure that out is if people like me actually take it. I got really sick not taking my medicine, but we have managed to slowly restabilize me. I'm sure you all notice I'm looking healthier. I'm getting better every day. The medicine is working every day. So you don't want to give the vaccine to someone super, super sick, right? You want to give it to someone like me that has a fighting chance. So yes, it's scary, but we got to do our part. I want other people way more sick. I want Tammy Green's level of problems to be able to get this vaccine, and they're not going to be able to do that if some of us who are a little stronger don't take it. So as of today, if I'm on for a few days, it could be because I'm having something called an autoimmune storm. And what does that mean? That's what the biggest risk is, y'all. It's that it'll cause my autoimmune to go into super overdrive. And then, that'll cause a big problem. Because that's what my problem is with my disease, right? It means it'll attack one of my organs. But don't worry, I'm having it done in the hospital. They are actually keeping me for as long as they need to today. They're going to supervise me, and they're also going to check in regularly on me because of the fact that it's all being done through Cleveland Clinic. It's going to be very well supervised. It's going to be as safe as it can be under these circumstances. So if I'm on for a few days, you know why. Don't panic. They're well aware of what can happen, and they're prepared for it. So I just have to be prepared for it mentally. So that was a bit of a wackadoodle. But in the process, we also learned that my husband had a low-grade fever. And one of the things about this is if you're going to be vaccinated, you're not allowed to be around anyone who is COVID positive. And even though he had a low-grade fever with no symptoms, they sent my husband to the hospital for an emergency COVID test. Okay, so he had to go to the hospital. He got tested. He was negative. Thank God. Again, poor man, twice in a month tested, but it's okay. Negative again, thank goodness. But while he was there, they were like, why does he have a low-grade fever then? And they found a few things with his heart. Now, nothing super serious, y'all, but enough that they admitted him. So yesterday we find out I'm going to be vaccinated today at the same hospital where my husband was admitted yesterday. And we don't know if he's getting out today. In fact, he just texted me to say they're running more tests. So it could be that I have to go down to the same hospital where my husband is, and we're not going to be able to see each other. So he's worried because he wants to be with me post-vaccination, and he may not be able to be. I'm worried because what should have been a routine COVID test and checkup has turned into him being admitted to the hospital. What a crazy 24 hours, y'all. What a crazy 24 hours. But it's been this kind of year, hasn't it? It's been this kind of year. And that's why I'm keeping up the stink. I'm proud of us for crafting through it. I'm proud of us for our buoyant spirits. I'm proud of us for sending Merry Mail. I still have more cards to show you today. I'm proud of myself for putting things away and clearing up. I'm proud of all of our positivity. I do want to say that, there's a lot of videos up, a handful of videos up today from creators feeling very frustrated about being unpaid artists. And I don't much talk about it on here other than to tell you I never do more than 1 or 2 design teams. And the reason for that is you better love the company, y'all, because you're doing unpaid labor. That's the truth. You better love the company. It better be worth it to you to do a design team share and videos. You must love either the product or the company because it's unpaid work. It is. And that's why, there was a company I was working with and I'm not the best suited for them. And I said to them, it's not worth it to me. It's just not. Like, the reality is now I'm making dangles and stick pins, right? But y'all, I gotta tell you something. When I do my crafty inventory, the item I have the least of are things like beads and findings. So it's probably better for me to order once a year for $25 than it is for me to do a design team. It's just not worth my time and effort. I'd rather be making for myself or one of you. Or I'd rather be prepping for one of my lessons. I know that design teams always sound so exciting to everybody. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you love it, like my friend Susan loves it and she's good at it, then it's different. If it's worth it to you, then it's worth it to you. But I do want to say I agree with Karen Tamir, who did a video about this. I agree with the Posh Paper Lady. You got to assess it, y'all, for yourself. You got to be sure. I love working with In Love Arts. Now, I really love doing the DIY, and you're going to see my projects for that because they're funkier. But I like In Love Arts as a company. That's why I continue to work with them. I like their ethics. I like the fact that they let me say if something doesn't work. That, I won't work for a company that doesn't let me do that. Which precludes some companies on Ali, by the way. As Crafty Michelle shared with us, some companies do not appreciate when you tell the truth, and I will only be truthful. So, and I make that very clear. So, that precludes me from working with some folks. But I think the good thing about that is if I tell you I love a dye, I love a dye. You know, and if I tell you it's a fussy, it's fussy. I told you, I like that Sistrix dye so much now, but it's fussy. Like, you better be sure you're patient, and I think buy it at half price, so you don't feel so bad about it if you get too frustrated. You know, I try to tell you it straight up. And maybe you won't have the same challenges as me. I am a slower crafter. I do have a heavy hand. I do have motor issues from my stroke. So, you know, for me, I have some different challenges. And thank you, Lana, for recognizing that. I was so excited to make you dangles, because for me, that's probably the hardest thing. And I was so excited, and I even got your name on that thing, and I was like, yes! Thank you, Lana. That was really sweet. That was like a moment in your video where I almost got teary, so thank you. You know, so for me, sometimes it's just, there are different challenges, but I'll always share them with you in case you have hand issues or in case you struggle with delicate things. And so not every company likes that, y'all. That's the other thing. And I think we have an obligation, a moral obligation, when we make a video about a product. I think we should always tell the truth. You know, just be honest about the product, because otherwise one of your subscribers may order it. But this is a roundabout tangent way of coming back to what the Posh Paper lady was talking about today, who is so organized. She so impresses me. Ebony is so organized. The Posh Paper lady is super organized. And then coming back to Karen Tamir, who is a wonderful mixed media artist. And I always watch her videos, but I seldom comment. She has like 35,000 subscribers. I figure she doesn't need another comment from Alicia. But I will say this. She's right. It is frustrating to be an unpaid artist. This has been a problem for generations, for centuries. It's unlikely to change. As crafters, you are an artist who, crafting, remember, means art that is for sale. That's traditionally what the only difference between fine art and crafting. That's a very simple way of explaining to you the difference. And artists are never paid for their work most of the time, which is pretty gross. And there's a sort of a societal expectation that we will work for free. And that's why I agree with Karen. I think you really have to question how many things you do or what you do and make sure it's good for you. That's what I'm trying to say. There's nothing wrong with doing 6 design teams if you enjoy it, if it benefits you, if it's worth it to you to get the product. But I want to caution anyone who's not yet on one, who wants to be on one, to really weigh that up and not get caught up in the excitement, because it is a matter of your time, and it's time you're not being paid for. So think about that, y'all. It's really important. It's really important. I appreciated Karen's video very much today. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below, or I'll try to put an end link. But this is my long-winded message this morning, y'all, to say, you know, I'm hoping this year is different for everybody. I'm hoping me being vaccinated helps other people be vaccinated. I would like to say that we will see more people in the next 3 months being more responsible so that we get this under control. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know if that's true. And that's why I'm grateful for the vaccine, because I think it's a safeguard. You know, in the past week, the hubby and I tried to go grocery shopping twice. He tried to go himself twice, and he couldn't because it was unsafe. People were taking off their masks in the store. And I tried to go with him twice, and we didn't even get inside the front doors. So we did not grocery shop this week at all. And that's because people were taking off their masks indoors. So I can't count on people being responsible. And then what do we do with all of our vulnerable people? Are people like me who are on immunosuppressants? People with diabetes? People with diabetes, y'all, are having a harder time with COVID than people with autoimmune, right? We have to protect them. What about people living with cancer, right? And we've got people in our community in that situation, right? We've got Tammy and Deb Hendrick. You know, we got to protect them. So I'm hoping for all of us a healthier and a happier new year, a more creative year. And if you're going to be vaccinated, and it is a personal choice, y'all, there are many risks with this vaccine. I'm going to tell you because I got briefed yesterday. There are many risks. And I don't know about you all, but I have to sign a waiver today that says I will not sue, and my family will not sue. But if I don't take a step forward, and I do believe in citizenship, y'all, then how are we going to get anything done? Someone's got to be the guinea pig, y'all. Someone's got to be the guinea pig. And that's just the reality. So hopefully I will be like the nurse with lupus who doesn't have any reactions. And hopefully if I have reactions, they will get it under control. And I will be back on here to share with you everything. And I'm hoping that I can be a bit of encouragement for all of you to take the vaccine. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that if I can get through it seamlessly, then you all will be inspired to get vaccinated. That's what I hope. But it is a personal choice, and it is a risk. So I want to say that again. It is a risk. Weigh your options very carefully, y'all. Do your research and don't believe everything you read on the news, right? Make sure you understand what you're doing when you do it. That's my piece of advice. Y'all, I wouldn't have gotten through this year without you. You are the reason that I got through this year. That's the truth. And I'm so grateful to all of you. I survived COVID because of all of you. I survived emotionally because of all of you. And I'm so grateful to all of you. Wishing for each and every one of you the happiest and the healthiest new year for you and your families. Let's make sure that this one is a better year, y'all. Let's look forward to 2021 with big smiles, tons of creativity, and lots of positivity. All right, y'all. Hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, take real good care. Bye for now.